Good morning, friends, and welcome to my RV. My name is Erica, and you are at the Lopsided Crafter Loom Knitting channel. This Thursday, I decided to do things a little different. Instead of doing a full vlog, I am just going to do a whips and FO type video, talk about life and things like that. I will save life update for the end, so if you're not here for it, when I tell you I'm getting ready to start it, then you don't have to watch any further if you don't want to. So, if you watched my video on Tuesday, I did a review of an electric yarn winder and a Swift. I have not done any more yarn since then, but I do want to show you up close, a little closer on the actual yarn that I wound. So this is Mandy's Makings, and this is a share-a-pair. So basically, the premise behind this is you get 250-gram hanks of one color and 250-gram hanks of another, and then you can share those additional hanks with somebody else so you have matching socks. I'm not sure what the name of this colorway was. Let's see if I have it in here, because sometimes they're not marked. This one is called You're Invited. And I'm sorry, guys, the print is so small that, yeah. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. Each 50-gram hank has approximately 231 yards. Her care instructions are hand wash cold, lay flat to dry. Some of my Loom knit socks I do hand wash. Some I put in the washer on delicate. I never put them in the dryer, but I will say that the ones that last the long are the ones that are hand washed, at least in my experience. So the next one that I have from Mandy's Makings is this, I think it's called Game Day Party. It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 467 yards or 100 grams. And Mandy is one of the sponsors for the pigskin party. And so if you use a yarn or a stitch marker or a project bag, anything that is football related that can be used for your project, whether it's loom knitting, needle knitting, or crochet, then you get extra points. And so, you know, this is the color of the field and the football. So I went ahead and wound this up so I can get that on the loom. And then from this past August, if you watched my the video where I went to the Southern Comforts Fiber Market in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, I picked these two up, and these are by Beach Bunny Socks, and this is their Sunny Sock, which is 85% extra fine superwash merino, 15% nylon, 437 yards. And this is the color Taffy. And then this one is Juicy. So I thought these two would look great together. Heels, cuffs, heels, cuffs, toes, maybe a random stripe, maybe some color work. So yeah, So those are the ones that I actually wound on the winder and the Swift here in the camper. I do have a few more hanks that I want to wind up. The thing is, I don't have a lot of, I mean, there is storage space here, but you know, when you're an RV, you kind of try to keep things at a minimum. So, definitely keeping them in a plastic bag because our RV is in the woods and it's winter time and there are critters. Unfortunately, you get critters. The main thing that we have a problem with, and if you've had any experience with this and you know, or if you know anything to rectify it, is stink bugs. In the wintertime, when it's warm in an area, the stink bugs will come in and, I have no idea where they're coming from. Maybe they fly in the door when you open the door. I don't know. At my house in the summertime, my shed, we have a big problem with ladybugs. I don't know. I don't know. I've got my morning coffee. Today's protein drink flavor is a limited edition, and it is mint chocolate chip. Oh my gosh, it is so good. Okay, now we'll move on to the whips. I currently only have one. And I have started a sock. This is a 72 peg Loom 1/4 inch gauge from Cindy Wood Crafts. It has a small stripe here. I don't know if you can see that really well without me turning the loom. So I am using the Mandy's Making Share a Pair with this. And I am just going to do some random stripes throughout, some jogless stripes. You can see maybe right here where I joined the new color. Everything is even. I've got another heel that I want to try on this. I probably have 3, at least 3, maybe 4 more heels that I want to fine tune for the loom, and then I will have, I believe, all the heels done for the book. I have 2 more toes that I want to work. I love the rounded toe, but with all of the decreases that you have to do on a rounded toe, at least cuff down, I don't know that you could do it on any loom but the Flexi Loom. So I'm trying to work that out because of when you're doing the rounded toe, you work, let's just say, one round you might work 7 stitches, knit 2 together, 7 stitches, knit 2 together, 7 stitches, knit 2 together. There's too many knit 2 togethers for the slide. The only other thing I can think of is if I was to adapt the pattern to maybe the X loom. But I'm wanting to try to keep the book to where you don't have to have specific looms. Like you could use any loom that you have. So, the rounded toe may not make the book, or if it does, it may make it as maybe a bonus type pattern. But nonetheless, working on this one, I will be casting the second one on probably on Wednesday. Tuesdays, I'm filming this on Tuesday. It's going up on Thursday. Tuesdays, I do, if you follow me, you know, I go back to the house on Tuesdays so that way I can take my mom to bingo on Tuesday nights, because she really, truly enjoys that. So I won't be casting the second one on probably until I get back here on Wednesday. So that is all of my current whips. I do have 2 FOs. I finished the match to the Fleagle-like heel. This was done with the Malabrigo Remy color, which is specific to Charlotte yarn in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Fleagle heel is worked toe up only. If you work it cuff down, it is no longer considered a Fleagle-like heel. You have some increases and decreases here to create more of a gusset, which creates more stitches here across your instep. And then you have your heel turn here. So when it's off the loom, it's kind of like the heel flap and gusset. It almost looks like you have 2 little heel turns here. But like I said with the other one, trust the process because, excuse me, it does work. I did, for this sock, a modified toe cast on. I did 60 rounds for the foot and then started the first shaping for the gusset. Then I did the heel. And once the heel was done, I did 50 rounds for the leg and 20 for the cuff. So I'm real happy with how this turned out, and these will definitely be in the book. I have, what, 5 patterns so far. What would be a good stopping point? I guess what I'm saying is, how many patterns do you look for in a book? I'm shooting for 15 to 25. And I have 5 so far. I do have some, you know, there will be a couple what I call vanilla patterns. Just your basic sock with the heel and toe that everybody learns when we learn to loom knit a sock, which is your basic short row heel and toe. And then, you know, I'm going to have some with different color work and color blocking and things like that. I've got a few lace patterns. This is another one that I have just recently finished, which is, I'm trying to put it here on the blocker for you so you can see it easier. This is a lace pattern on the leg, and then I just did a straight vanilla foot. So the heel flap and gusset doesn't fit the best on this loom, but you get the idea. So it has this nice lace pattern here on the leg, and then the cuff, and then the straight vanilla foot, and then I did the Kitchener bind off for the toe. And this is a heel flap and gusset. Let me show you this one. If you followed the vlog, you saw me actually making this. So here you have your heel flap. This is your heel turn. And then this little diagonal triangle area right there in the middle is the gusset area, which again creates more stitches across your instep. And as I said in the vlog, when you go to make this pattern, it's gonna look funny because it does look like you have two heel turns because of your extra increases and decreases for the gusset. But when you put it on, this part right here flattens around the bottom of your foot. So trust the process. It does not fit on the blocker too well. I'm going to have to see if I can get maybe a wire blocker or something like that, so that way it actually sits nice on there. But that is my second whip for the week. I have these gorgeous sock blockers that I got on Etsy. Unfortunately, I mean, I could, but I'm not ordering from that company anymore currently because of the T word, and that's all I'm going to say. If you know, you know. So yeah, those are my finished socks for the week. That is my whip. I will have the duplicate casted on Wednesday. When I go home today, I think I'm going to maybe work on a color work chart so that when I come back, I can do these two, cast these two on. Yeah, and that's it. So what have I been reading? This month, I have read The Intruder. Well, actually, it's not this month because it is November 4th. Last month. I read The Intruder by Frida McFadden, which I thought was good. And now I'm reading Blue Mountain by Lisa Michelle. And I say reading. I do audiobooks so that I can still loom knit and things like that. There's not enough hours in the day for me to sit down and actually read. So that, and I enjoy reading. So the audio is a really big help. I use the Hoopla app, which is linked to my local library. So, yeah, if you like audiobooks, see if your library is linked to Hoopla or Libby, and you can just check the books out right there and listen to them on your phone or iPad or, you know, wherever your apps can be found. Blue Mountain is about this woman who is getting a deathbed confession from her grandma about her life as a unknown serial killer. And it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. So yeah, that's what I've been reading. Watching, we have restarted 911. We were about a season and a half, maybe 2 seasons behind. And we just decided to restart that season because there was just so much time that lapsed that we didn't watch it. So we're doing that with 911. We also have restarted FBI back to season 1. And then Matlock, the new Matlock with Kathy Bates. Let's see, what else have we watched? We're watching the story on Peacock about John Wayne Gacy. As you know, I'm big into all things 80, all things Bigfoot, all things true crime. I have been known to listen to a true crime podcast in the car from time to time. I don't know. So that's what we've been reading and watching. Now life update. So if you are not interested in the life update, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Love you. Okay, life. My middle son has graciously, he's in his 20s, has graciously decided, and it has already happened, to move in with my mother to help with my stepfather, so that there's somebody else there well, you know, he's got a life, so I'm not going to say 24 hours a day, but he is there a big part. And that has taken a lot off of my mother as well as me. So I don't have to necessarily drive the 45 minutes in every day to make sure that she's okay and that he's okay. So that's been a big help to me and my husband as well. I will be forever grateful to him for this. Other than that, you know, my stepdad's still on hospice. He's not getting any better. He's slipping a little bit, which, you know, I mean, unfortunately, it's to be expected when you have dementia and then a stroke and then, you know, we're starting to get everything going and functioning the way it's supposed to here in the RV. Excuse me. This is a used RV that we purchased. We actually got it the day my stepdad had his stroke. Fortunately, my husband's line of work, when we met, and up to about probably 15 years ago, maybe longer, was working on RVs. That's what he did for a living. He worked on the interior of RVs. So anything from your refrigerator to your furnace to your water heater, your blinds, your cabinets, whatever. That's what he did. Now he works for a bus company, like your transit type buses, not like city buses, but buses that say hotels would use, daycares, things like that. So he works for a company that works on those buses and does the wheelchair lifts and things like that. So my husband is very, very mechanically inclined and very smart when it comes to things like this. And it's just things that, you know, pop up here and there that you don't know until it's time to use it. But everything's going smooth, and it's starting to get cold at night, so we're trying to find the best temperature regulation. So yeah, everything's going good. The animals are doing good. Mr. and Mrs. Turkey that I showed you a couple weeks ago are still here, so they did not run off. That's always a caution or issue if when you bring a new animal to the farm, you want to make sure that they're comfortable so that they don't run off. So yeah. And I've got my son's baby dog. Well, she's not a baby. She's 14 years old, but she's a tiny dog. So I got her here with me since he's staying there with my mom. So yeah, that is about it for this week. If you're still here, thanks for watching. And until next time, stay happy, stay cozy, and may all your socks find their matches. Bye.